Methodism was born in songs, but by last week Monday, Methodists in Nigeria were not singing. The head of the Methodist Church in Nigeria, His Eminence Samuel Kanu Uche, was kidnapped a day before on Sunday, May 28, 2022. He was kidnapped on the Abia State stretch of the Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway in the Nochi axis. Kanu Uche was released by his kidnappers in the late hours of Monday after the church mobilized and paid the kidnappers the 100 million naira ransom which they demanded.
Individuals actually paying ransom is because the Nigerian government or the government of the day, be it at the local government level, at the councillor level, at the state government level, at the federal level, had failed the common man. That is why you would find somebody who has been picked up by miscreants and they demand a certain amount of money. You find that person, his family running helter-skelter just to make sure they get that money and pay. It is not supposed to be so, yes, in the normal, in sinner climes, yes, it's not supposed to be so, but we are in a country where we are not all sane. Nobody is sane in this country.
After his release, the head of the Methodist Church made revelations on his encounter with the kidnappers. He said that his kidnappers were Fulanese. He alleged that his kidnappers work in concert with some personnel of the Nigerian military. He said his kidnappers admitted to being Fulanese and that they were in their numbers in the eastern, western, and south forests. He said his kidnappers claimed that Nigeria was their own to possess.
When you say they are Fulanese, the native language of the Fulanese is Fufude. Were they speaking Fufude? Could they be that they're dressed in Fulani regalias? What is it that makes them to be Fulani? Do they look like one? There are some that look like, but they are not. There are some that speak, but they are not. So we should not actually attach, when it comes to crime, we cannot attach it to one ethnic group because crime has no definition of religion, tribe, or ethnicity. It is just crime. Anybody could commit crime. So, but I'm looking at it from the holistic aspect of it, that whether they are Fulanis or not, they have committed an act. And that act is tied to terrorism. So to me, they are terrorists. At any point to see people are this way, we should identify that they are terrorists. Identifying their ethnicity or anything is even paving ways for excuses. So we should look at it that you have been attacked, you have been kidnapped by terrorists, bandits. So we should look at it from that perspective and then have it. Because when you say they are Fulanis, they are Muslims, or they are Christians, you create an opportunity for the others to negotiate.
These may be the bluff of criminals to create a narrative of a Fulani siege. It could also be a propaganda by those who hate or envy the Nigerian nation and therefore want to stoke a disaffection that sets Nigeria against itself.
These are tricks. These are tricks and ploys from certain political actors. We know that these people do not get their funding from me and you. They get their funding from rich people and political actors, in quotes, who actually fund these things to make sure they either unsettle the government or gain points to use for their campaigning.
The revelation by His Eminence, however, fits into similar statements credited to the Fulani National Movement in 2021, and for which the Nigerian government has not arrested anybody. It also falls snugly into claims by Miyetti Allah, which has consistently claimed that Fulanese have the right to enter into any land in the pursuit of their herding occupation.
Miyetti Allah has been given undue recognition. Undue recognition, if we must tell ourselves the truth. Mr. President needs a very strong political will to look at certain issues and address them the way they should be.
The statement by the head of Methodist Church also vindicates the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, who said that some military personnel were working with terrorists and bandits to undermine the Nigerian state. If previous statements by Miyetti Allah, the Fulani National Movement, and the Chief of Defense Staff are placed against the kidnap of His Eminence Samuel Kanu Uche, it will be difficult not to conclude that there is a coordinated agenda against the Nigerian state the way it is configured at present.
Every Nigerian has the right to any region in this country. Provided you're a Nigerian, you have the right to go to any place in this country. It's your God-given right as a Nigerian, first of all. So if the Fulani people come out to say they have every right to any forests, well, as Nigerians, yes, they have that right. But then, when that right mixes with violence, it's no longer a right. It's now enforcing your will on a certain people.
What has happened to our military today is pure systemic corruption and the weakness on the part of authority to take decisive orders or actions. Otherwise, we've had in the past how some military personnel's money were found in their accounts, huge sums of money, how some persons gave testimonies of how some of their family members were kidnapped, and then when it was time for these ransoms, they discovered that it was even some military personnel that came to take over these ransoms. So you see, it is because of the weakness on the part of the leadership of the military that have created this tension and, make it more impossible for us to fish out who are the bad eggs in the force.
The danger, however, is that the reactions in the social media to Samuel Kanuche's kidnap raise a major worry that his last kidnap could make something to snap. Some posts in the social media suggest that not only the Fulanis can comb the forest, others have quoted from the Bible, reminding their members that if you have 2 coats, sell one and buy a sword. If the kidnap of the head of the Methodist Church produces equal and opposite reaction, many innocent people would suffer for what they had no hand in creating. The security agencies cannot therefore remove their eyes from the ball, especially now that political activities serve as a huge distraction, which all manner of interests can take advantage of to further their own agenda. It may still be morning, and a stitch today can save Nigeria's tomorrow. In Abuja, Marvelous Obomano for the Signature Show.